Welcome to episode 4 of Into the Black. Tonight we're still at 3 players. Pip, played by Jake, Percy, the operative, played by Alex, and Mainala, played by Lily.
Yes.
Klob is still in Italy.
I think he's actually in Austria now.
Well, that's where Brandon is, but I think Klob is in Italy.
Mm.
Separate people.
Totally separate.
When we last left you, you had barely managed to drift engine away from the pursuing pirates with their little armed shuttles.
Yes.
You've appeared a few days later, after a few days of rest in the drift, avoiding any hazards, reappeared right outside Absalom Station.
Right.
And now here you are. You broadcast your intent, and the stewards have given you priority docking at the steward, like their official steward dock. And they have told you to proceed as quickly as possible to there because this is a big deal.
It's like VIP parking.
Sort of. VIP parking at the courthouse.
Yeah.
And that is where we left you. They had ordered you. They had asked you to dock quickly, and you're moving through what's called the Armada, this sort of huge fleet of civilian ships that sort of orbit the station at all times. It's all just people who don't want to pay for docking fees, who'd like to live near the station but don't want to live on it. And also because they're in kind of a weird legal place. It's unclear who has jurisdiction over them.
Got it.
Even more unclear than on the station where it's already weird.
Right.
I believe Pip is driving.
He is.
Beep boop beep boop.
You head in where they told you? You approach this big sort of six-pointed star-shaped station. It's huge, a few miles across, with a big glass dome right in the center of its disc. And inside you can see skyscrapers and green and parks, and it looks like a little piece of a city under this big dome. And then it has this long spike going all down a couple more miles underneath this disc. You are going towards the southern spike, big air quotes, southern.
Right. The space.
Where the steward dock is, the steward's official, their dock that only they get to use for steward business. You come in, the ship flies through this sort of semi-permeable force field slowly, and there's atmosphere on the inside. People are walking around, ships are landing. You touch down, and there is a small detachment of stewards. Some of them are armed, but this seems to be a formality waiting for you.
Great. I'm gonna tell Pip, like, as we're coming down and I see, like, this group, I'm gonna be like, let me do the talking, if you would. I'll make sure to let them know you're the big hero. Jake, did you hear me?
No, sorry.
I was saying, I said to your character, was saying, like, let me do the talking. I'll make sure to tell them you were the big hero.
I mean, I don't need any credit, just money. Just credits.
See what I can do.
I don't need any credit, I just need credits.
Get that on a t-shirt.
Credit will do fine.
No credit, just credits.
So there's about 4 of them. There's sort of the one person who seems to be sort of an officer. There's sort of orderly who's wearing less rank insignia, and then they have 2 sort of MPs, 2 security guards with them. But they seem relaxed. Their weapons are holstered.
So, one officer, the 2 security guards. Who is the second person? Sorry.
Like an orderly.
Oh, okay. Got it. Cool. Sweet.
They've got a hand terminal.
Great. I mean, I said, I don't know what worked before we were talking, but I was saying I wanted to pass along all the data I had collected.
And when you say everything, do you mean everything?
Yeah, I guess, except for my stuff on the whales, because I sent that to the Xeno Wardens.
But you passed to the stewards a full report.
Yeah, I gave, like, a full accounting. I worked on it while we were flying. And just, like, everything that happened. I mean, I probably glossed over some of, like, the thievery that we did to, like, make it out, because we did steal some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I probably left that out. But otherwise, I was like, yeah, we had to just like grab a ship, and we just grabbed this ship. Like we knew it was salvaged. They asked us about it when we came in. We said we need to do paperwork. So
Okay, cool. Like, that's easy enough to do.
cool.
Um, so do you go out to meet them?
Mm-hmm.
Um, the clearly ranking officer is a human female, sort of darker complexion, and she sort of bows a little bit and introduces herself as First Sergeant Leah.
I bow back. I'm assuming, and I also want to bring Nick with me if possible.
Okay, yeah, he's doing better. He can walk.
Yeah, and like I think his presence helps corroborate anything that I'll say.
Mm-hmm.
So, I say like it's a pleasure to meet you. I don't remember the title, Leah, whatever. And yeah, thanks for giving us docking. It's been a really rough couple days.
She says it sounds like pirates are never fun.
This, and I'm gonna introduce Nick. I'll introduce myself. I say I'm, Mynala. I do some field work for the Xeno Wardens and occasionally the Knights of Galarian. I was traveling to the station and we were waylaid, as I said in my report. This is Nick. He is was he the commander, like the
Operator?
He kind of interrupts with telepathy, and he says, "Superintendent of former superintendent of Blackrock Station."
Superintendent, right, of Blackrock Station.
She shakes his little grabby bug hand,
Yeah.
and shakes yours as well. And the orderly seems to push some buttons and then wave to some carts, like small electric carts that wheel over. And she says, "We would like to get you to the Bastion as quickly as possible for a debriefing."
Do I know what the Bastion is?
It is the steward's headquarters.
Is it here?
It is here. It is not far.
Okay. I'm happy to comply in any way that's going to help us get the situation under control. Absolutely.
Excellent. Thank you. Are you the only one outside right now?
Just me and Nick is what I brought, but.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a question.
Mhm.
I think we talked about this last time, but I don't think you and I talked between last session and now. Back when I was in the military, who was that military for? Was it for the stewards?
It was the Pact World's Navy, which kind of became the stewards.
Got it. Okay. So I have some grudges against the stewards.
That makes a lot of sense.
So I'm not getting out of the ship while we're docked in steward land.
Leah says, "You have other crew members, correct?"
Yes, they are still recovering, but I'd love if Nick could come as well and give his time.
Oh, of course. We can get him to a medical ward as well.
Great. Excellent.
She says we would like them to come to the Bastion for a debriefing as soon as possible. We can't compel them, but we
Of course.
streamline all of this.
I'm sure they're happy to support your efforts. I will pass along the message, and then I will meet you at the Bastion.
Thank you. I'll leave a driver here for you.
Excellent.
And
I'll start heading
Nick says, "I would like to visit the medical ward sooner rather than later."
Oh, yeah, no, I'm not going to send him off. That's my intent. Absolutely.
They all get in the cart and they
Excellent.
drive away. But not before she has
Nick,
given you her contact information.
great. And I really appreciate what you're doing for Nick. I really appreciate that after I hand him off. I'm like, thank you again. Like, he's really been through a rough patch, torture, blah, blah, blah.
Mhm.
And then I'm going to go back to the ship. And I will tell you guys everything that happened, and then also say, like, they're going to want you to testify. I can try to get you out of it, but they just want to get information to get this pirate threat under control. Any information we have, anything we saw can help them.
Do I have to?
I can try to get you out of it.
No, it's fine.
I will go first and do most of the talking. So hopefully when you come, it'll be very brief.
Would you like a visual aid?
I would like a visual aid.
Everything that you know?
Yeah, that would be great.
So Percy pushes a few buttons on their hand terminal, and this holographic display appears.
I think I figured it out, guys.
I'm gonna go downstairs and look at this. Sorry.
Huge three-dimensional web
my
of
God.
images, articles, all kinds of things, all connected to the Blue Ion Corporation logo.
I've featured Pip, Minala, and Klob's relevance within the board. I, of course, omitted my own name, just in case I get back to anybody. This is where everything fits right now. It's like puzzles.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
I need-
puzzle job.
I need a picture of that to be posted to the Facebook afterwards.
Absolutely, yeah, we'll do that.
Like a
For our
purple
viewers to help piece together the conspiracy. I needed to roll a die. I forgot to roll. So yes, what are you all doing?
I'm going with Maynala now to debrief, even though I don't really want to.
I get that. Club also agrees to go reluctantly, since he's got not a small criminal record. Percy, what about you?
Do you want to come with me right now to do testimony, or do you want to try to me to hold them off and you can go later?
I think that was to you, Percy.
For
Sorry?
testimony.
What are we doing?
We're giving testimony for the stewards. Do you want
Yes.
to come now, or do you want me to try to hold them off and you can come later? Or...
I can come now.
And
I got everything's kicking around fresh in my mind. I'm ready to go.
Well, I mean, I'll tell Pip again, and you could come after me. Like, I can go alone first and give them most of it, so you could come in just for quick questioning. And if you do come with me, I just look at Pip and I'm like, speak as little as possible. And then I think about it, and then I also say the same to Percy. I can cue you guys a little bit with my, telepathy, but just keep everything to a minimum.
Okay.
They already have most of the information. They probably would just want to ask a couple more detailed questions.
Am I allowed to speak now to acknowledge that I understand?
Yes.
Okay. I understand.
Great. This creature is here, and she's so cute.
You're heading that way?
Yes.
Okay, so you go out there. There's one of those carts with a steward driver waiting for you, and once you all pile in, they turn and start to head out of the hangar.
Oh, it's not like fancy, like I can say to the bastion, and then they leave.
You could say that.
Okay.
He's going anyway.
Excellent. I want to seem like I'm in charge. That's good.
He nods and he's like, sure thing. And you're driving along, and your dock is right here.
Yep.
And it's just going along the spire there
Yeah.
to there.
Oh, okay,
Um,
cool. Wow.
As
very
you're,
special.
it's sort of it's a straight shot. It's probably why they picked this dock.
Yeah,
As you're driving, you drive through what is pretty clearly the Vesk quarter. There's a pretty
Okay.
sizable Vesk population that lives on Absalom Station, mostly people who had fought in the big swarm wars and then just settled down here.
Interesting.
And so you're driving past, Vesk. Restaurant stuff is in Vesk. The architecture and decorations are different. Lots and lots of, giant lizard people. And then you sort of come out of that, and then there's sort of some more densely populated areas until you enter the Eye, is what that big dome is called. The air is fresh. The buildings are beautiful. There are plants and there's gardens. It's gorgeous. You know that the Xenowardens have a small building here, a small place here at Jatembe Park.
Okay. If there's time later, I'm just telling you this, so I'd like to check in with them,
Cool, totally.
but
Oh, yeah.
it's not urgent.
You know where they are.
Cool.
Yeah, they maintain all the gardens and ecosystem stuff on the station.
Sweet.
And then you arrive at this large, imposing building that's by far not the tallest, but it looks like it's fortified, built to withstand
And it's
a variety of assaults.
right.
And it has the big steward logo in blue and gold on the front. And that's
Great
it.
colors.
Sort of a holographic display. And the cart goes up to the front gate. He flashes a security badge. The gate opens, and he is brought in. And inside, there's sort of the lowest floor is high ceilinged, and there's lots of people moving around. There's sort of a parade ground. People are training. Lots of steward recruits. This is where they train all the stewards.
Okay.
Um, who I suppose, Manala, you may respect, you may hate, because they are all trained in combat, but then they're also all trained as diplomats.
Ah.
Everyone here has some diplomatic training.
I'm probably really on edge then because these people are like really top class and top tier, and so I'm very aware that like anything that I do combat or speaking wise is going to be really highly analyzed.
Yeah.
I'm probably just kind of on edge.
And no one's really being themselves. They're all kind of like, being diplomatic about it.
Yeah. They might be cool with each other, but definitely not with you guys.
No, they're not going to... Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
It's McDonald's here. There is not a lot of genuine emotion happening at you.
Got it.
Remarkably diverse pool of recruits. You get off the cart, and your hand terminals sort of ping with a little notification that give you directions to where you're supposed to go, and it's easy to ride the lift there from here.
Excellent.
We will skip the real-time Mass Effect elevator ride, where Manala talks all about her homeworld for like 5 minutes. Sorry. And you arrive at this sort of debriefing place.
Great.
You were greeted by an android who sort of just takes your information, and you all are allowed to take a seat. And the first person who has their name called is Klob. Klob goes in there. After about 15 minutes, he reemerges, looking a little shaken.
I thought it was going to be like a boardroom, like we all go in.
No.
No, like that's good. Like I thought that, and I'm wrong. So
it's like an actual interrogation room, but everybody's being polite to you.
Did they offer us drinks?
They did.
Oh,
I'm not drinking that.
I accept. I want something like green.
It's cucumber water.
Okay.
Get anything harder than this?
You get this sort
Any
of very
real
polite
drinks?
smile from the android, and that says, "Oh no, not here. We're all on duty, but I could recommend some bars in the eye."
On duty.
Manila,
I've got my own bars I like here. I'm fine.
You remember you got drugged like yesterday, right?
Oh, I'm like everybody here is very friendly. I have no need or cause for concern. And then in my head,
Politicians.
and then in my head, I say to Percy, I'm like, dude, they do not need to know that. It makes me look bad. Okay, I want these people to think I'm cool.
I mean, drugs are cool.
After Klob emerges, he sits down and he's kind of fidgety and a little nervous.
I'm gonna reach out telepathically and be like, are you feeling okay?
He's like, "Yeah, I'm fine. I think I may have said too much."
I can't imagine what they would want to know other than what we already told them.
He doesn't answer.
Okay.
Next up, the android says, "Percival,
Yes, present.
you may go in now."
Okay.
The final telepathy. I'm just like, remember, stay calm. They just want to help.
I'm calm. What do you think?
Calm vibes.
I'm very calm.
Super zen.
So if you go inside, it's a comfortable room. There's no windows. It's a little stuffy, but there's a table. There's a pitcher with water. It's not like there's restraints or like a scary spotlight.
Damn it! I was hoping that'd be a scary spotlight.
It seems designed to be comfortable. Maybe a little too designed to be comfortable.
a little too comfortable.
Uh,
Knowing it's too comfortable makes Percy more comfortable.
okay. So you go in, you sit down, and sitting across from you is a very handsome Lashunta man. Uh, his uniform is just a little unkempt, just enough. It's the top button's undone. It's a little rumpled, and he's sort of sitting more relaxed in his chair. And he says, "Percy, right?
Yes.
Have a seat.
Okay.
Do you?"
Instantly.
He says, "My name is Investigator Dives. I handle lots of pirate-related crimes out in the diaspora." Um, he says, "You and your friends got into a lot of trouble, didn't you?"
We didn't cause the trouble, officer.
No, of course not. No,
It was thrust upon us.
I didn't mean to imply.
Some find their way into trouble. Others have trouble thrust upon them.
Personally, I've never sought out trouble.
Mhm.
Ever.
Mm.
This is my first time off Acton. Is everything like this? It's crazy.
Sometimes.
Mm.
He continues like this for quite a while, asking you very, seemingly casual questions.
Mundane.
Like mundane. He's super chill. He asks a few questions about what happened, but for the most part, he doesn't really pry.
He's getting a baseline on me.
Could you make a charisma check for me?
Sure.
So you know that Lashunta have telepathy. And for like a moment or two, while he's been talking to you, you feel something similar to what it feels like when Maynala telepathies you. But you can't be sure, and it was only just like a couple little like tingles. So after a long time of talking to you, getting your baseline, he says, "How'd you intercept that military transmission that he asked you about?"
I would like to start loudly thinking only la 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 la.
He doesn't seem to react.
What encrypted thing? Who? Sorry, I'm a farmer. I don't know computers.
He says, "Club Nisus and Maynala's report cited that you handed over some encrypted message that you were unable to get into."
Oh, that encrypted thing.
So I will state, just by the nature of encryption, that intercepting an encrypted message is not only expected but common. Sorry, go ahead.
Sure.
Well, you see, it's not only expected but common to intercept encrypted messages.
That's why they're encrypted.
That's
He
why
says,
they're...
of course. At least, were it a broadband transmission.
Was it not? I was tuning with my ham radio at the time, and
He says,
it came in.
"I'm going to let you in on something I probably shouldn't."
Ooh.
But you
Percy
seem
leans
like the
in.
person good at keeping secrets.
Lean in.
Is that true?
Maybe. Yes. Absolutely.
That transmission was sent using a new technology based on interplanar arcane transmission. It should have been impossible for you to detect it.
It's a very good ham radio.
I'm sure.
Sorry.
He says, "Currently, I have. You are not under arrest. This is not an interrogation. You have broken no laws. I mean, technically, you should not have given it away. But But you were under duress. We understand.
Extreme.
Any additional information you give us now could be very valuable later on. But of course, I can't coerce you.
Let me think about it for a little bit, and I'll get back to you if there's anything that seems relevant. If it comes.
Excellent. He gives you the sci-fi version of his card, like a little holographic thing.
Sick.
Like, there you go.
Like Christian Bale, that's bone.
Yeah. And he says,
Can you
if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer, but otherwise we're done.
Great. No questions.
All right. Pleasure meeting you. And then he offers you the door.
Straight up. No eye contact.
boop?
All right. Percy comes back out. The door remains closed. The android has not told Minala to go in yet.
Okay.
But after about 5 minutes, the door opens and she tells you to go in.
During that 5 minutes, I'm gonna Percy telepathically. I'm like, how was it? You don't seem as weirded out as Clob.
He's not very aggressive. I thought there'd be more interrogation, more dark rooms, a little waterboarding. It was mostly just a nice chat. I'm pretty sure he's like you and semi-psychic, which is kind of, an invasion of privacy, but who am I to complain about that, so.
You really haven't been off Akaton. Like, the stewards would totally never, ever torture anybody. That's totally not their deal.
I mean, not that the public knows about.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right, when the android comes, I'll go in.
Cool. You go in, and you've gone in the same room that Percy came out of, and the room has there's no table in the middle. There's just 2 seats. It's very cozy now. There's sort of some plants in the corner, and a tiny decorative fountain. It is a little tacky, but clearly someone has tried to spruce up this space.
Okay.
And he is sitting there, in what appears to be a very casual attire, sort of like like businessier, but like casual. Like he just came from something else, and he's got the little steward pin on his lapel. Same room that Percy just came out of.
Yeah. Does he stand when I come in or no?
He does.
Oh, okay.
He sort of straightens his coat. And he is about to greet you like he would anybody else, and then he pauses, sees that you are a Lashunta, and he does the sort of traditional telepathic greeting.
Which is more feelings than words.
Yes, it is no words. It's a feeling of welcome.
It's like the slight bro nod when you pass someone. You're like,
Yeah, it's like that.
I reciprocate.
Excellent.
And then say thank you for meeting with us under such short notice.
He telepathically, he's not speaking yet, says, oh, of course, I just came from another meeting, but this seemed important.
Of course. Can I roll sense motive on this bitch?
Sure.
Can I don't know.
Roll it.
Do it.
I'm too at ease. Okay. Oh, well that
Nat
plus,
20.
plus plus 3 plus a d6, like 1d6. So 26.
We roll for him.
Because I feel like he's trying to really put me at ease, and I want to have a sense of his agenda, like.
So it's all a sham. Everything he is doing is an
super
act.
calculated. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
You don't know what his game is. He's really good
Sure. Yeah. No. Totally. They would only send somebody really good.
Like he is awesome at this.
Yeah. No. I believe it. That's what.
But it's all an act.
But I was afraid of dealing with the stewards, but they were the only people I could call. So I mean, like, what are you gonna do?
He offers you a seat.
I accept.
He sits as well and crosses his legs and sits back in his chair again very casually. And he says, "Tell the truth, I don't have any questions for you. Your report was exhaustive. I just wanted a chance to meet my Nala." What's your last name again?
Ufu Drakus.
I wanted to meet the Minala Ufu Drakus.
I laugh, like, you know, I'm totally being, like, super charming. And I'm just like, oh, well, you know, like, it's been a while since I've worked with the stewards.
And
Always have my hands full.
he says, I've read about the last time you worked with us. It did not end well, I heard. You did not part on the best of terms.
Everybody has a different way of working, different working styles, but that's what makes it so great. I see your new class of upcoming stewards. They're very diverse. It's very exciting. Like, totally office small talk. Like,
yeah, he enjoys it. And then he says, I particularly loved the part where you threw the Eoxian delegate through the hors d'oeuvres table. That was my favorite part.
But who would serve Vesk eggs at an event like that? It was just so insensitive. Somebody had to do something.
I would have done the same.
Yeah, just unbelievable.
No, he deserved it. Off the record, he deserved
Okay.
it. He just makes very nice small talk with you, and he's very charming, and towards the end starts to turn the flirt up a little more.
Oh God, this guy's Skura. I'm gonna say I'm gonna really start asking questions about him and see if he dissembles or if he answers. Like, you know, like, how long have you been with the stewards? Like,
oh, he answers every question.
You know, favorite mission ever? Like, you know,
when you ask him for his favorite mission ever, he tells you a very funny story about a sting on a sting in the diaspora trying to bust some free captain pirates that ended with a shootout in a hangar bay filled with illegal cheese, and half the pirates weren't wearing pants.
that's great.
It's hysterical. It's a really funny story.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, like, does it seem like he's closing anything at any point? Like, getting close to when I would leave?
He seems happy to talk to you as long as you're going to talk to him.
I will make a move as if to leave, and say something to the, like, basically I'll tell you what I'm trying to do. What I'm trying to do is, as I leave, I want to basically do some kind of, like, veiled threat and be like, I know I gave you a lot of good intel, like, don't fuck it up. Like, I'm really putting a lot of faith in you guys, so...
You both speak the same diplomatic language.
Yeah.
It's like thieves can't, but it's diplomats passive aggression.
Diplomats can't. You can totally do that without saying it.
That's like my thing, and I want to say it as I leave. But when that is appropriate.
His response boils down to, you know, it's not my first rodeo.
Yeah, no, I'm aware. Like,
And he allows you to leave.
excellent. Yeah, I leave.
In like the actual words of the command, I'm an experienced diplomat and investigator, and I will of course bring my
it's not even
utmost,
about him.
the utmost of my qualities to this investigation. Right? Like,
It's like weirdly not even about him. He managed to say all this stuff about you, and you just sort of understand that he's talking about himself.
Exactly. All right, cool. Yeah, I mean, because that's the situation. I've placed a lot of faith in them, and, like, there are no space police. They're the closest thing. So I'm just like, hey, don't be corrupt dicks. So, like, we'll see.
And his name is Dives.
Dives. D-I-V-E-S.
D-I-V-E-S. And he also gives you his little hollow card,
Excellent.
which is like a little thing that seems to be made of like something tiny and very disposable, and then sort of like hard light. And you can put it into your terminal, and it absorbs it, and it's gone.
Cool. I will take it with the veiled implication of booty call maybe later. But
Oh yeah, no, it's the
but with
language.
no plans to act on that.
The implication, the words that you say are, you know, talking about advice for diplomatic things, but again, thieves can't.
Right. You can.
You
Sounds good.
leave 5 or 6 minutes elapse before Pip is called in. Anything you guys would like to do in that time?
I'm
Clop
gonna
is calmed down.
I'm gonna telepathically to Pip be like, I'm outwardly totally calm, chill. I get more cucumber water. I'm like chilling. But telepathically, I'm saying Pip, I'm like, don't get up, don't react to anything. This guy is very good at his job. Don't try to lie to him. It's probably better to omit things rather than try to lie. He'll know if you're lying.
Did we get the name of the captain of the Chainbreaker?
Yes, you did. It's not in my head at the moment. Let me look.
It might be in my notes. Let me look. I can look while you're.
Sorry, Pip would know it, and I want to say something about it, but I don't remember.
Y-A-N.
Mm-hmm.
Jan Vokolis.
Oh yeah, Jan Vokulis. Yep.
All right.
Cool. You go in, and standing behind a very plain steel, Durasteel, plasteel desk in a very starkly lit military room is an officer, male Lashunta, with perfect uniform.
Rank?
None, which you've seen on certain intelligence guys. Where his rank insignia should be, there's a Steward Intelligence SI patch. And these guys, you know they're spooks. They don't publish their rank. They know each other's rank, but that's it. And he looks at you, and he just says, Chief Petty Officer Pippin Akaton, retired. Please have a seat.
And I sit down.
OMG. Girl. All right.
Yeah, I sit down.
He sits down across from you, but still manages to somehow be totally stock straight while seated. You know the kind of guy this is. The sort who you are certain is a robot.
Officers are the worst. They think they're the shit because they went through officer school.
Yeah. You could count the cool officers you've met on one hand, and you only have 4 fingers. And he says, you can call me Agent Dives. He says, in the report submitted by Consul Minala Drakus, you told pirate Jan Vokulis that while on board a certain transport vessel, you attempted to steal the classified cargo, but decided not to once you found out it was fissile material. Is this correct? And I'm asking if this is this is what you told him.
That is indeed.
What did you actually find in that container? And I am required to remind you that as a dishonorably discharged member of the Pact World's Navy, I cannot order or compel you to answer.
Then I think I'm not going to. That's between me and the box.
That's fair. He says, you see him sort of this sort of mask, the officer mask, melt just a little. As if the person is now talking to you.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, are you that Pippin Akaton?
It depends.
And
which
you know
one
what he
you're talking
means.
about. I know exactly what he means. Okay. I sigh and yes, I am that Pippin Akaton.
And he's just this sort of look of admiration on the surface. And then also sort of confusion. He sort of pulls up your file and you can both see it. And he says, the Galarian Cross for Valor and a dishonorable discharge. How?
Just being at the right place at the right time, I guess.
I suppose. And the mask comes back, and the person is gone, and the officer is back. Um, and he says, I know you are, from your record, one who cannot easily be coerced and one who does not enjoy cooperating with these sorts of investigations, but I have some pull within the organization. I understand you are currently in the possession of a quasi-legally obtained ship.
It's salvage, and by salvage rights, it's my ship now.
For now, unless someone comes and tries to claim it, perhaps next of kin of its previous owners. You may win that fight.
That's not how salvage law works, though, right?
Not in real life.
Okay.
In space it does.
But stuff's weird out here.
To my understanding, like salvage law, like, no, it's salvage. And I say,
I like this way though. This is good.
But you didn't really salvage it. You technically stole it from the people who killed the people who owned it.
You can always test salvage.
right.
And so it's fuzzy.
Yeah.
And he says, you'd probably win that fight, but you might not. If you cooperate right now, answer my questions, I can expedite that. You'll have the pink slip signed in your name inside a week.
What do you want to know?
Push him. Ask for more. Just kidding.
What did you find in that container? And then he reaches over and he sort of waves his hand in front of the wall, and the hologram in that area fades,
Mm-hmm.
and he pushes a button, and you see that it says, something about recording devices have been set to off.
I thought he was going to offer to have his dishonorable discharge removed.
Look, and I say, oh no, that's just, I don't care about that.
Cool.
I'll answer yours if you answer mine. How much is Vocolis paying you?
How much is Vocolis paying me? Interesting question. Not a credit. Besides, I'm too expensive for him.
Can I sense motive?
He can't afford me. Sure.
My sense motive is +1.
Not bad.
You believe him, like he's being earnest. That felt like a very honest reaction. But knowing what you know about this guy, you are not confident in your ability to get a clear read on this dude.
Right. The ship I was on that had this thing, that was a steward ship or no?
What do you mean?
He's asking me what was on the ship, what was being transported.
That was in like a Pact Worlds Navy ship.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Which
sorry.
sort of
Yeah.
became the steward.
Right, that's what I meant.
Yeah. He says, if you're uncomfortable telling me, I don't need to know. He sort of pushes this little hand terminal across the table to you. He says, I'll leave you in here alone. Record it, push the button. I'll never know.
Dude, this is intense.
I shrug in a slightly affirmative, like, why don't you leave the room then?
He gets up, walks out of the room.
All right, I'm hacking this thing he handed me.
Give it a shot. Give it your shot.
Does he come into the room where we are?
Yeah, he walks out, and you see him. He is not. He is now wearing. When he comes out of the room, he is wearing a steward uniform.
This guy has like +30 disguise.
Oh, nat 20.
It's actually not enough.
What? Oh, damn it.
This is the steward's headquarters.
Yeah, but like...
But that is enough for you to get in and verify what he was saying is true.
That this will go into the record, and then who will be able to access it, if not him?
Only like the toppest of top secret.
All right, I guess this thing was already toppest of top secret to begin with.
You see that, you're trying to get into this thing, and you quickly see like you can root around a little bit, but as soon as you try to touch anything, it's gonna bite you.
Yeah.
Because it's very very nice.
All right. Well, if it's confirmed that it's just going to go into the record for toppest of top secret, I will then put in what I actually saw, which, if I recall, was this
The strange
biomaterial.
Biomaterial. Yeah. So
Yeah.
you describe it. You push send. It does the thing. It says it's deleted. You go in and confirm it is in fact no longer on this device.
Great.
And he comes back in.
When he's waiting outside the room,
Mhm.
is he like acting casual, like getting cucumber water, or like what's his deal?
He's acting casual mostly.
All right, I don't want to like even acknowledge this.
He just looks like he's coming out to fill his cup with some more cucumber water and then heading back in.
I'm just chilling. I'm like, yeah.
That's all that's happening. He was thirsty.
He walks in with a full glass, and when he walks in, it's gone.
He takes the terminal from you and he says, "It's nice, right?"
I'm not going to give him the satisfaction of anything. I'm just going
Um,
to sit there.
He opens it up and he says, "I know you hated working for the Navy, but somebody like you could go far with steward intelligence."
Are we done here?
Oh.
For now, I'll be in touch if I have anything else.
I get up and leave.
Cool. As you are walking out, you who have the keen eye for this sort of thing can see the hollow projectors out of the corner of your eye as you cross the threshold out of the door. You sort of get a glimpse of them up in the corners of the room. That room appears to be able to change its configuration at will.
Completely. Okay.
And probably his outfit, too.
Right.
So he told me he was Inspector Dives. He told you he was Agent what?
Agent Dives.
Agent Dives. Okay.
He
got
told
it.
me he was detective.
He seems to moderate his persona depending on who he's interrogating.
Oh yeah, no, it's fine.
And Klob says, "I thought they were going to arrest me." He describes how he had come in and he looked like this angry, hard-boiled detective, and who had been threatening to like have him arrested the whole time.
He's
Just
played bad cop.
Just bad cop. No good cop. Just
he's
bad.
good cop, bad cop from the Lego movie.
He's that. Yes.
It's Liam Neeson.
Sure, like Dives could be played by Liam Neeson.
Oh, I like that.
So yeah, and you all have his
Like his
contact
parents.
information, and you are allowed to leave. You are discouraged from exploring this place further. But nobody's like shoving you out.
I'm going straight to the ship.
Cool, easy. You get out. You catch an auto cab. Takes you right back to the ship, right through the Vest Quarter again, to the steward place. You're onto the ship, and it says that you can stay here for another maybe 4 hours
Okay.
before you need to find a new place to dock.
I'm just grumpily working on the engine.
Cool.
I'm in a mood.
I would like to make my way back slowly, pit stopping at Xeno Wardens, but as I'm even leaving Steward HQ, whatever, I want to walk really slowly and just be using my detect thoughts.
Cool.
Just like passively, just like seeing if I can get any information.
You don't get anything interesting. You get the general disposition of this place is pretty happy. Lots of recruits who are excited to be joining the cause, and
Right.
lots of older people who've been in it for a while who really still believe. A few people walk by who seem to be warded against mind reading in some way.
That does not surprise me at all. And like I don't push. If I like come up against a wall, I just like move on.
Slide off it.
Yeah, just like whoop, nope.
One person, a Shirin, sort of notices you do it, and sort of just nods at you.
I
"It's what you're
smile.
doing."
I smile back and I'm like, gotta practice sometime.
The little emotion you get is There's no words in it, but sort of this. I understand what you're doing, and I'm not mad.
Bemusement.
Yeah, like
Sick.
smart kid.
Cool. Sounds good.
Yeah, Klob. After you guys are all out, Pip's already gone.
Yeah. Pip like beeline for the ship.
Turns to you and Percy and says that I have some business I need to attend to on my own. A few friends I need to check up on.
Great. Do you want to meet us back at the ship in a couple hours?
Might be longer than that.
Cool.
Okay.
I'll be in touch.
Well, you've got your comm, so.
Yeah, we've got each other's numbers.
Cowman Snapchats.
Let me know if you need anything.
I will.
Can I get like a read on how he's doing?
Sure.
You
Give
want
me
me to like?
a sense motive check, or you could read thoughts, or
I can only do that once a day, so I was just like doing it as I did the thing. I can like turn it on for a while and then it goes off. So
I'll take a sense motive.
Yeah.
For Klob.
Sounds good.
Klob.
+3, so 20, and then plus a d6. Sorry, I always forget the d6.
He's not really hiding his emotions at the moment. He is nervous about something,
Okay, cool.
clearly, but it does not appear to be afraid for his own harm. He's going to go do something he's not excited about.
Is he feeling any sense of like urgency about it?
He's feeling like it's going to be worse the longer he waits.
Oh, okay, got it. Totally. Cool, sweet.
He catches an auto cab, and he's gone.
I'll ask Percy. Have you ever heard of the Xeno Wardens?
And do you want to get Vesk noodles on the way out of here?
Hell yeah. Yes.
Should I culture to know if I've never heard of that?
Wait, what? Noodles?
Xeno
Or the
Wardens.
Xenowardens?
And noodles.
Both. Give me a culture check for one or the other.
Alright, this one is for
We'll do another one.
culture again.
You're familiar with the Xenowardens. You know that they're
They're
druids.
delicious. Wait, no, those are the noodles.
They're druids, and they're sort of like the stewards, but their thing is protecting nature on all these different planets and in space. And you've never had Vesk noodles before, but they sound nice. It's probably a huge portion,
You've had other Vesk food that you liked.
I'm sure. Yeah.
I'm down to try them.
Sick. All right.
Vesk noodles are still moving, like, gah.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
There's stuff in there that's alive.
Sick. I love it. Yeah, we do Vesk noodles.
Cool.
And
You
if
stop
they're
in the
like-
Vesk quarter.
If it's like, oh, what am I thinking of?
It's total Japanese noodle shop where you come up and
I was gonna say if it's like pho and there's toppings, I do like all the toppings. So
yeah, there's the cloth things you go behind and you sit at the bar, and there's a couple big Vesk guys like chopping stuff up way too fast.
that's cool.
And they make it for you, and it's hot and delicious and hearty, and there is stuff swimming around in it,
Sick.
still alive. And there's a zillion toppings. There's all kinds of crazy things, and you just dump it all in.
Yeah, man.
You see, that seems to be the way you're supposed to eat it. It's just supposed to be a heap of stuff.
Cool.
It's delicious. There's way too much of it, but it's really cheap. You continue on, and you head to the Xenowarden's place in Jatembe Park.
Jatembe Park. Got it.
Mhm.
All right.
Cool.
I'll just.
Well, you are heading that way.
Yeah.
Pip, the ship gets a message.
I'll pull it up.
There is a... What are they called? How do you say it?
A hail?
No.
Oh.
Who are the blue... Kasatha?
The Kasatha Lashunta?
No, the Kasatha. They're like these people who live in that that other space station. They've got that
Okay.
long blue head and 4 arms.
Gotcha, yes.
They're standing there and they're wearing an Abadar Corporation blazer.
Avidar Corporation. We don't know about them yet.
Looks
Yes,
like the
Abadar
lady
Corp
with
is
all
a big
Is the bank.
corporation. They're largely banking, but they do other stuff too. And this video, which clearly very produced, goes on to explain that Blackrock Station was owned by Abadar Corp. At least majority holding, and they would offer a reward for information about its condition when last you saw it.
Okay. Do they say the order of this reward, like on the order?
They said
hundreds?
negotiable. They'd love for you to talk to you more about it in person.
All right.
But it is implied that it would not be insubstantial.
Okay.
And there's a number to call back. This wasn't like a call. This was just like a video message they sent you.
Gotcha. We only have this dock for like 4 hours, right?
Ish.
All right. I'm gonna call them back.
How did they find us?
You call them back, and they it's that same person before a long, sort of tall blue skull with some red paint, and then the blazer with the 4 sleeves. And
You're the one who wants the information about Blackrock Station?
Oh, that's correct. Are you one of the survivors?
Yeah. I've got a bunch of information. Do you have a dock that you could let me use for, say, on the order of days rather than hours?
Perhaps it would be easier if we perhaps subsidized your docking fees at one of the other docks.
Yeah, that's fine. I just need somewhere to put the ship.
Excellent. In addition to the bonus, I'm sure we can arrange something.
Great. Where do you want to meet me?
They said, well, we can do this part of the talk over comms, but we do have an associate who would like to meet you. From the Eyes Wide agency. We've hired him to help investigate the matter. From an insurance perspective, of course.
A creepy name for an agency.
Percy, you know them. You're not here, but you do know them. They're a company of psychic private investigators.
That's fantastic.
It's my worst nightmare.
I'm like, all right, let's get the docking over with first, and then we'll chat.
Of course. You hear twice as much typing as you are usually able to create.
More than twice, because I only got the 4 fingers.
You use a lot of swipe. And then you get a little notification, and it says, take that to one of the lower spire docks. They'll offer you a substantial discount. We're covering the rest.
Great. I say I'll call you back at this number when I'm done.
Absolutely.
All right.
The Sother are cool looking.
Cool.
They just gave us promo code Eyes Wide.
Repark.
Yeah, I'll go repark. I send a text message to Percy, Maynala, and Klob, letting them know where we're parked now.
Where the house is.
Yeah.
Perfect. Pip, while you are driving, the chicken sits in the co-pilot seat the whole time,
Absolutely.
pecking at the control panel, which you have turned off, but having a grand old time.
Excellent.
Did we name the chicken?
This chicken still doesn't have a name.
He's just the chicken.
I feel like Percy tried to ask about it, and he was like, "No, I'm good."
Yeah, that's what happened.
Never had a name before.
Why would I need one now?
You repark and you call back. Same person answers. They send over a bunch of these sort of forms that you can fill out and asks a few questions, sort of strange, sort of granular questions about the station's condition.
Mm-hmm.
And is glad that you are the one that picked up because you seem to have a lot of technical knowledge.
Yeah. So I before I start filling these out, I want to negotiate price.
Sure.
So how much are we talking about here for filling out these forms? I really hate forms. My carpal tunnel just starts acting up, and
And they say, "Oh, I understand completely. I hate them as well." They seem to think I can do twice as many.
oh, because the arms. I get it. Oh yeah, all right.
because of
Sorry,
the
I was
arms,
the
yes,
jokes
yes.
weren't landing before, but now.
Haha. This person's weird, and you. They say, well, I normally for this sort of thing, it is on the order of a few hundred credits for this information.
All right.
Um, However, I do have some negotiating power here. I have some discretionary funds to use.
All right. So we talking 700 credits? What are we saying?
They kind of stroke their chin and they say, "Oh, 7 would be very high for this sort of thing, unless you were to provide some extremely valuable information."
I could see 5 and a discount at the company store.
Oh, I could see 5 and a discount easily.
All right.
But I will have to see the reports to give a final appraisal.
All right.
Are you going to fill them out?
Yeah, I was gonna fill them out haphazardly, but now that I'm getting the discount at the company store, I'm actually gonna
Give
pay
me
attention and.
an engineering check to give a
Ooh.
really good status report.
I was still connected to the systems when we left, so I probably still have some information too.
Oh, all right. That will give you a little more juice on this.
All right. Is it plus 12 now because we're second level? Ooh, bad roll, but
Not bad, not bad. They're sort of like, all right, all right. They're reading it sort of as you're writing it.
of course.
And then they say, excellent, this will prove very valuable for our insurance claim. I think 5 and a 20% discount at the store.
Reasonable.
Excellent. We'll have those funds wired to you soon.
Did she like clap her hands together twice?
Yes.
Clap, clap.
You hear it twice, but you only see it once. Because it's just sort of like...
It's below frame, yeah.
Yeah. And they say, but our associate will be in touch. They have not assigned us an agent yet, but they would very much like to meet with you.
Yeah, all right, no worries. I'm sure no one in our party has any problem with psychics.
And if you are cooperative, I could see an additional bonus in it for you.
Great.
Excellent. Have a wonderful day, and thank you for choosing Abadar Corp. Hangs up.
So are those credits transferred now, or?
It's a little while, but
Okay.
then your account pings.
Ding. All right, excellent. I'm keeping all 500 of those credits.
So
Thank
they own the majority of shares for
Sure, with the
Rock
chicken.
Rock Station.
Yeah.
And they wanted to know about the status of the station last they saw it for their insurance claim.
That is what they said.
Yeah, and that's all. Everything I wrote was all just about the status of the station.
Yeah, there was nowhere to put anything but like core stability and like all that stuff.
Right.
Feels
Boring
so
technical.
suspicious, I'm just gonna say.
And I have a 20% discount at the Abadar Corp store.
Yep. But you have to go through their like weird online client, and it's clunky.
Oh yeah, it's
And-
super useless because you can't go through your normal vendor. You have to go straight to the manufacturer,
And
and
it's such a pain.
then you have to mail in the rebate, and you have to cut out the codes off of the
Oh,
engine.
God, tape it on the thing.
The spot to write the code is like too small. It's a pain, but discount. So that's you. Rest of you arrive at Jatembe Park. It's this beautiful park, huge trees in this atrium area, gorgeous, lush plants, parts that look like grasslands, parts that are sort of open sitting areas with pruned grass, parts that are just thick, dense jungle.
Wow.
Just every kind of plant you've ever seen, all of it dramatic, and you see some sort of Xenowarden initiates who are tending to it.
Cool. I step into that and I take like a big deep breath of this amazing fresh air with all these scents going on. Xeno,
Great, it's wonderful.
you're awesome.
Percy, it's so big and there's dirt everywhere.
There's like green and stuff.
Green. It's
This is the
bright,
first time I would have ever seen like actual foliage.
lush, beautiful.
I hope there's like bromeliads that are like blue and hot pink, like weird stuff.
Crazy space bromeliads.
Yeah.
Giant, tulip-like flowers that are like 7 feet tall, and then sort of small creeping vines that seem to move on their own and grasp at anything that goes by, but not threateningly, just kind of like, hello.
And Percy's just gonna think this is what normal plants are like.
Because yeah, Percy's from Akaton. Percy's from Desert Planet / a metal box.
Yeah, he's probably gonna be like, "Is your home planet like this?" And I'm gonna be like, "Yes," because I'm from Castrovel and it's super jungly. So I like point at the jungly part. I'll be like, "Like that part, not like that part."
Everywhere outside.
Yeah, except where
Most
there's
places.
mountains, and then there's different of that.
What about the sandstorms?
Oh, we don't do that. No,
Huh.
it's quite uncivilized.
It's kind of
And I'm like joking, and like I don't know if Percy understands that, but
So yeah, there's just these sort of initiates going around tending to the plants. And you know that this is sort of one of the first things they do when they join. They have to do a service sort of thing.
cool, sweet. I'm gonna go up to one of them and ask, like, introduce myself. Like, hi, I'm Consul Mainala. I recently corresponded with one of the leaders in your organization. I don't know what their their ranks and titles are, but I might know. And say like, I was just hoping to speak with someone about the information.
So you explain that you've done some work for one of the named totem druids who run the organization.
Totem Druids, that's great. Yeah.
They're almost to the top. They're sort of the lower level of the upper echelon. of this
Oh, I don't need like the top.
And they're like, oh, okay. Well, there's one here.
Great, amazing.
Would you like to speak to her?
Yes, if she's not busy, that would be great.
They point you in the direction of sort of the main building.
Cool. Do they offer to like escort me, or am I on my own? I'm just curious. I don't care.
You're on there. They seem busy.
Okay.
They've just sort of given you directions. You and
Sick.
Percy.
I'm like, thanks for the directions. Keep doing your thing. Go you. And then I go.
You go inside, and inside is sort of this sort of larger woman, sort of more built, burly. You don't recognize. Give me a culture check to see if you recognize her.
Sure. And I will remind you at this time that the DC to identify rare creatures decreased by 5 for me.
She's not a rare creature. She's a human. She appears to be a human.
Then never mind. Never mind. That plus 4. Yes, plus 4. So 16. Why not? No.
16, you said?
Yeah, and if I don't know, that's fine.
You do recognize her, but you've never spoken to her. You've only read about her a little bit. Her name is Bebika.
Oh, that's cute.
And she turns around and she has this sort of she's wearing sort of this strange fusion of modern armor, but also sort of natural materials on top of it. And she has sort of these like gauntlets that go partway up her arm that seem to be made of some kind of orange leaf-like material wrapped around her arm. They look very unusual.
Cool.
And around her neck is this sort of crocodilian creature medallion that's made of wood right around her neck.
Alright.
And you know that means that's her named totem that she carries. That is a signal of her rank.
Okay, cool. I don't know like what the custom is, but I would know like if I'm supposed to bow or do something or make a hand signal or whatever. I do that.
You're about to, and she kind of gives this deep, happy laugh, and picks you up and hugs you.
Oh, good. I am fully for this, and I hug back. We're good.
And she says, "I love visitors."
Me,
It's just
I love
holding
being
you.
a visitor. It's the best.
What brings you to Bebika's home?
And I
She's
tell her,
huge
I'm like,
and burly, but seems to be very friendly and happy.
great. I just tell her, you know, I was traveling recently through the drift, and I saw these amazing creatures, and so I drew some sketches, and I sent you a report, and I was wondering if you'd seen it.
I have not. You must tell me everything.
Oh,
And she goes and starts making tea for you.
Oh, good. I was gonna say we should have a snack and chat.
And she's-
Babushka Babika.
there's these like beautiful little fruits and fresh foods and meats and tea, and Percy, there's enough for you too.
I trust her enough to drink her tea. This is a big deal.
It's delicious.
Yeah, we have our snack and chat, and I like give her like the full thing, and I'm like, and I saw this, and it was great.
She's super happy. She's having a wonderful time talking to you, listening all about these space whales.
I might have to kill a spider really quick. Hang on.
No,
Well,
do
the
not kill the
Toad
spider.
agree with that.
It's not that
Love
big.
you guys
I
went to
know
the
I'm
same
with
joke.
mosquito wardens, but I might have to go kill a creature.
She'd be upset.
And Lily went to the same joke as well.
Jake, would you like to make the joke as well?
I think you should kill the fuck out of the spider. The Xeno Wardens will love that.
Made a full circle.
A nice twist on an old favorite.
We can just have Brandon call in and be like, hey,
You're like, hey, I'm in Europe.
don't kill the spider.
Club.
Ah.
So, real fast,
You want me to do it?
out of character, what other places on the station would you like to visit?
Well,
Um,
when Minali gets back, I want to ask her about ways to protect against mind reading.
Mhm.
With like a filter so that I can still talk to her, but that
Here-
detective really freaked me out.
Tinfoil.
Right, but I want to be able to, like selective. Tinfoil gets everything.
Oh, you still want to let Minala in.
Right,
I see.
could be useful.
I'm sure you've got some insulating foil back on the ship.
Oh yeah,
In a pinch.
Doesn't leave home without it, but
I actually have a 2-in-1. You know when like every superhero goes undercover and they just put a baseball hat on. It's
Mhm.
that, and it's lined with tinfoil on the inside.
So yeah, there's places like
It's a
the
double
Puddle, which is all underwater. Uh, there's, Little Akaton, the flea markets.
Well, we should definitely go to Little
yeah, we should
Akaton.
go to Little Akaton, get some Akatonian home comfort food.
Yeah, Akatonian
I'm
pizza
still
is
full
better
from the
than
desk, but
Absalom pizza by far.
Yeah.
for sure. They make it too thin on Absalom.
How are you supposed? It's not food. Is Lily still locked in combat with a spider?
I think so.
So yeah. So Jake, where the ship is right now,
Yes.
there's sort of the main disc, and then there's this long tapering
Right, we're the
spire
lower
that goes
spire.
down below it. And you're the lower spire, so you're about a third of the way down.
Okay,
It's
sorry.
a rougher part of town. Not terrible, something you're probably familiar with. And the dock you're at isn't bad. It's clearly very cheap.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so it's not a big deal.
Cool.
So yeah, back to
Sorry,
I know.
spider's dead.
excellent.
Yeah. I told her everything I saw about the space whales, and I'm like, and this thing spurted out. I don't know what it was made of, and they had these crazy undulating movements. It was amazing and beautiful. And I just give the full description, and I tell her, like, I sent sketches over, you can access them, da da da.
She pulls out her terminal, clearly does not know how to use it.
Can I give her a
Also to
hand?
take it,
Yes.
yeah, to like help
Yes,
her.
you can help her.
Yeah.
You want to help her or me?
It's
Oh,
it's on
Percy, you
MS
can do
right
it.
now.
I feel like I want to contribute.
1,000. She hands it to Percy, and you handle it.
Yeah, I was like, Percy's better than me, so.
Do you mention anything else?
If she asks me why I'm here, which she probably does, I will say that I had to. I just made a desperate escape from Black Rock Station.
Mm-hmm.
where pirates attacked.
She becomes somber and focused on you now.
I just thought it was really scary. But we were able to escape and rescue the. I still can't remember what Nick's position was. Superintendent.
Mhm.
The superintendent of the station, and make it here in one piece. And that's all we can ask for. So.
She asks some probing questions about the nature of the pirate attack.
Um, I'll tell her the name of the ship. I'll be like, they had this crazy ship that was disintegrating things. It was called the Chainbreaker. So we did our best to get out of there so we could tell the stewards what's up.
She's her tea seems forgotten in her hands as she is focused on everything you're saying.
I'll ask her. I'm like, do you know of the Chainbreaker? Have you heard of it before?
I have not, but I will be investigating this.
And I'm gonna say, please do. They seem
What
Very,
were
very
they
strange.
after?
It wasn't clear, which is true. It wasn't immediately clear to me what they really wanted. I just say, like it wasn't clear, but their leader seems very disturbed and of an unnatural make. I tell her how I saw him standing out in space with no suit. And I was like, I've seen other creatures in space with no suit, like in the drift, but something has changed him, or he has changed himself.
She says, you have given me much to think about.
And I'm like, I always, I'm happy to serve the Xeno Wardens. We share one goal. So
She puts her hand on your shoulder and sort of squeezes it, not in an aggressive way, just in a she's really strong way, and it's like, and we value you as an ally.
I
Please come back anytime.
And we make to leave and stuff, and there's long goodbyes, and I say like, oh, thanks, Babika, so much, you're the best.
They send you with she sends you with a bunch of food.
Oh, this is great. Okay, good.
like bunch of fruits and things that seem to be halfway between a plant and an animal.
If she does give me like a small plant, I'm really excited to take back this ship, like a little.
Totally.
Sick.
She gives you sort of this sort of purple succulent thing, this fern growing out of the middle, and the little tendrils are kind of moving like that as they sort of hunt for particles in the air.
Cool. All right, I will take that. Thanks, Babika.
She's like, come back soon.
Okay. And then I take Percy, and I'm like, now you've met the Xeno Wardens.
Are they all that nice? She was really nice.
Yeah, probably.
No.
I mean,
No.
I've met them all.
Some of them are really nice. You've met some nice ones. You've also met some really mean ones.
Yeah, and I'm like, that one was nice. I mean, I haven't met them all yet, so I'll let you know. But, yeah, they're pretty cool generally.
Cool.
And they have these really cool ships that you've ridden on that are alive themselves.
Mm-hmm.
They're sort of biomechanical, plant-like in a lot of ways, and they can sort of fuse and break apart, and they're something else called seed chips.
That's awesome.
Cool. Where do you guys head next?
I think we should meet up with Pip.
Yeah, I agree. Let's I was gonna say radio him or like get him on comms and be like, hey, where are you? Let's meet up.
Just text him.
I was just about to head down to Little Akaton for some pizza.
Oh my god!
Cool, meet you there.
Cool. But okay.
I will say like, yeah, she just had her first Vesk noodles. And see what Pip's reaction to that is.
Did you have the live ones or the dead ones?
Only the good stuff. Live, of course.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
It's the way to have it.
It's the best way to have it.
Okay, so we'll meet up at Little Akaton.
Cool. You all head up, sort of up the spire and to right there. Little Akaton, it's just sort of this little peninsula that pops out that is full of Yosoki and Akatonian humans and these big burly, red-scaled reptilians called Ikeshti, I believe is how you say it, um, who are native to Akaton.
Just like
Um,
home, innit?
it feels a lot like home. You hear, words are being pronounced right. Um, the smells are what you would expect. The spices of Akatonian cooking.
They have like a
Um,
dehumidifier running.
Absolutely, it's drier here, um, but not like just dry enough so you're nostalgic, not so dry that your lips dry up and fall
Not
off.
actual Akaton dryness, where
Yeah, it's like the idea of it.
Also,
your
you're
skin
from
cracks.
more rural Akaton, right?
Yeah.
So this is probably more like urban Akaton because it's on the space station
Yeah,
still.
it's close enough. I mean, I have to
Yeah.
go down to Tasha Station for power converters all
Right,
the time.
right.
Yeah. So it's great. You find a place, and Percy and Minala, you aren't really hungry anymore, but you have a few bites. And Pip, this place is great. It's got all the best home cooking taste. It's correct. It's not like all the other places like Faux Akaton.
If I just order a bunch of food, will it keep well on the ship?
Sure, yeah, you could order stuff and just get it to go.
I go to this guy because he's actually from the same neighborhood of Akaton that I am, and so
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
he's got a brother back on Akaton who has a brother restaurant.
Yeah. No, you guys totally connect about it, and you're like, yeah, no, Fifth Street.
Tony!
Um, and then you guys are just bantering back and forth really, really quickly in Akatonian.
I'm totally lost, but enjoying it. What I was gonna say is, gonna say storing up food is totally a thing Percy would do because he's so paranoid.
That's true.
So that's perfect.
Yeah, Percy, you could totally
It should be the
order a
one
bunch to
keeping
go.
his cheeks.
I mean, yeah, you save some for later.
So yeah, Pip, you get your food. Percy, you get a bunch of stuff to go. And Minala, if you get anything, you get it.
Yeah.
You also, can I get perception checks from everybody?
Yes.
Receptify.
Oh, and Jake,
Mm-hmm.
set your drop down.
I just did.
So Pip, you know how these sort of neighborhoods are, and on Akaton it's the same as here. You're noticing people wandering around who look like they're, maybe armed, walking in a small group, looking like they're up to no good.
Mhm.
There seems to be a fair amount of, gang activity here.
Yeah.
In Little Akaton or on the whole station?
In Little Akaton, but you would assume the whole station.
Got it.
Anyone like paying any particular attention to us, or
You guys are new, so of course you're getting glances, people trying to size you up, decide if you're a good mark or not. Are you armed right now, Pip?
absolutely?
People are quickly deciding you're not.
I have a very large sniper rifle on my back.
You'll see some people kind of eye you from across the alley. You're going like, hey, he's little, he looks like he's got money, and then you can sort of see them see the giant gun, and they're like, maybe not.
Why I carry it. I've also got like assholes just floating around above me.
Um,
I thought he was saying.
Nobody's messing with you right now. Who knows if they'll go get friends and come back with more guns. But right now, people are giving you a wide berth.
Do you say anything to us about this, Pip?
No. This is just how it is over here.
The rest of your meal goes on eventfully.
Cool.
You can get drinks. There's bars. There's all kinds of places you enjoy.
After they eat at Little Akaton, my plan was to head back to the ship just because, I want to put my plant down and all the food that.
Yeah, you guys go back to the ship. Spend the rest of the day how you like. If there's any shopping you want to do, you can. If you'd rather just relax, also fine. You're just on Absalom now.
When I get to the ship, I was gonna check if any messages have come in for us.
I didn't delete the one from the other dude, so.
So there's that message, and then there's another unread message.
Is there a call log so that I can see that he called them back?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a call log.
Okay, I will make note of that, but not do anything with the information right now. And then I will check the other and listen to the message.
It has the simple sort of gray open eye of the iWise agency.
If I open it, do they know I've opened it?
It's probably like a red receipt.
I was like, do they have read receipts on? Please say no.
They probably have read receipts on.
Okay. I'm gonna not open it then.
Yeah.
And if other people are here at the same time as me, I'm gonna say, so I hear somebody made a call to what do they call it? Abadar Corp?
Oh yeah, Abadar Corp wanted to know how BlackRock Station was doing. They paid me like 10, 15 credits to fill out some insurance forms.
I'd like to roll sense motive.
Go for it.
Cool.
I'll take a bluff check from Pip.
Sick. If I roll really bad, good day for you. Oh wow, I rolled really bad.
I think I'd also like to roll sense motive.
And then that. Okay, so 10. So 13. I got 13.
Oh, I'm very clearly lying. They paid me a lot more than that.
Cool.
They paid me like 10, 15 credits to fill out some insurance forms.
I am gonna.
Oh, yeah, 10 or 15 sounds like a tiny number. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I'm gonna raise my eyebrow and be like, let me, before I get into this, what do I know about Abadar Corp?
Abadar Corp is a large corporation. They deal in weapons and mostly banking, and they're sort of a strange corporation / religious organization.
Abadar's a god.
Yeah, worshipping Abadar,
The
god
god
of I believe commerce.
Commerce, banking, keys, locks.
So they're a weird fusion of a corporation and also a church.
Yeah, that sounds like something I would not love. So
They're sketchy.
Abadar, master of the first vault, god of cities, law, merchants, and wealth. Although that's from Pathfinder, so.
Same world.
I will say whatever they gave you, just give me 100 credits and you can keep the rest.
Oh well, it was a discount at the company store,
Yeah,
which I'm gonna, put right back into parts for the ship.
When 100 credits are in my account, that'll be great. And I'm gonna just walk over to my quarters to set up my plans.
That does sound great. I'd love 100 credits in my account too.
If he doesn't do
Really
it,
doubling down on this.
I'm gonna intimidate.
You set up your plant, and it's you do a little research on it, and it's a kind of fern that likes to be in space. It likes to live on ships.
That's cool.
I secure it as best I can so nothing happens to it.
Cool. You can glue it to your desk.
Yeah, I'm basically gluing it.
Those little non-slip pads.
Yeah.
Cool. So, still have that one unread message.
I'll listen to it because she went to her room.
Yeah, I went to my room.
It is a
Are you still in the control room with me, Percy?
Yeah, I'm still here.
It is a android who's had some sort of cosmetic work done to look more human, but still quite plain. Saying, "I'm Agent 7. We don't use names until we've confirmed that you're a safe person to tell. I'm an agent for the Eyes Wide Agency. I'm contracted with Abadar Corp to investigate the incident a little more." And then he says he would like to meet. He has a place, but not a time yet because you have not yet responded. It's in the lower spires. It's sort of a just out of the way place, public, but away from law.
Okay.
Where are the lower? What's the lower spires?
That's where we're docked
It's where
right
you are
now.
right now. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Is that right?
And there's a button to call him back.
Cool.
Or just at least respond with a time you'd like to meet him.
You gonna go meet this guy with me?
Hell no.
Why not? They're just, insurance agents.
Do you know what? Do you know them?
No?
hell?
Mind, man. Not in like a helpful way, like my Nala does. And like a
You think everyone's reading your mind?
these guys actually are though. And that detective was. I know it. I felt it. I felt like a
That was a
tickle.
recording.
No, not this guy. The guy earlier. But yeah, I'm sure he was trying. Recording. Did you try?
I mean, yeah, but I'm not Maynala.
I'm gonna stay here where it's safe and I'm out of range. I'm gonna go put some tinfoil on.
Percy, you know that psychic abilities like that do not work at greater ranges than about 30 to 60 feet.
Great.
We're gonna talk to this guy at a range of 30 to 60 feet.
Oh, I could do that.
That is something that Percy knows. You've heard of people who can do it, but it's extremely rare, and you would notice.
Anything? Any recommendations if I want to go meet this guy? He's gonna pay me credits.
If you don't want him to read your mind, stay at least 30 to 60 feet away from him. Otherwise, he's definitely gonna read your mind. Just so you know. I mean, I don't know. I'm just assuming because I've met you, but your mind seems like a whole thing that you don't want everyone to know.
Most of it. Although I guess that's probably what Abadar Corp's paying him for. He's not gonna pay me if he doesn't get to actually read my mind.
It's up to you if you want to let him.
Nah. He hasn't
Just
told
don't
me how much he
think
wants to
anything
pay
about
me
me,
yet.
okay? Just don't let him know any information about me.
Any
Who?
thoughts?
Just when he's reading your mind.
It was a... never mind. Did he say anything about how much he's paying?
He didn't. The Abadar Corp person made it clear that they'd pay you based on the stuff you tell him. The place he wanted to meet you is very close to your dock. It seems like it seems in an effort to just say, "I'm coming to you. I'm going to be on your turf."
You keep him more than 60 feet away from this freaking ship, man.
It's like a block and a half.
That's fine.
Alright, I'm gonna do it. There's credits involved.
Are you going to go by yourself?
I mean, I asked Percy to come with, and he said no, so...
I
guess
can ask by now.
Percy, you don't even want to shadow and like hang back, like with like a shady like backup guy.
Do I have like spy equipment so I can like binoculars from like 100 feet away?
I guarantee you could pick up some
so
kind of magnifying optical device on the way.
You do know that Mainala is not terrible at disguises.
But is also
I don't know.
mad at me right now.
No, but I don't. But if Percy came in my room and was like, "Hey, do you have a cool eye thing?" I'd be like, "Yeah, sure."
No, Percy wasn't asking for the disguising, but for zooming in.
Oh,
Want like a
thought she was trying to go for like a mad-eyed, moody kind of look, and I was like,
You
"Oh,
could
yeah."
get one on the way there pretty easily for not
Alright.
very much money.
All right, I'll do that, and then I'll hang back just to watch your back from these freaking mind readers, man. You can't trust them.
Manala,
Right.
are you going or staying on the ship?
Y'all
I
inform.
I don't even know if they're leaving. Like nobody's.
No,
told me
I'm
anything.
informing you. I'm informing you right now.
Oh, okay. You guys are gonna go to a meeting with Wide Eye, Eyes Wide. Do I know anything about them? Have I heard of them?
You've definitely heard of them. They're if you want to give me a culture check for more than surface information, that's cool.
Yeah.
On the surface, you know that they are a private investigator company, and they are specialized in psychics.
Yeah, I don't know much. Okay, cool. I'm gonna say, they're probably psychics, and I can't help you, so just, be careful, and, yeah. I don't know. I don't feel good about helping Abadar Core, so I don't think I'm gonna go. And I'm gonna say, make sure Pip gives me those 100 credits. And I, crack my knuckles.
Okay. Okay. I mean, I'm not as intimidating as you, but I'll try to remind him.
I'm sure you will.
Hey, Percy, you coming?
Yeah,
Cool. Off we go.
Cool. So Pip, what are you bringing with you?
All my shit,
Cool. Your whole kit.
my whole kit. Asshole.
Percy, what are you bringing with you?
I'll bring everything.
What is everything? I don't know your kit.
It's pretty much just my armor, my knife, and my gun.
What's your gun? It's like a laser rifle?
Yeah.
This is the thing.
No, it's not. I have. Sorry, I do have a rifle. I'm not gonna bring that. I'm gonna bring my pistol.
Okay.
Yeah, because you got the rifle. You stole the rifle from the dudes.
I will send a message to Nick saying that the ship has been redocked at this station and when you're feeling well, that I'm around if he needs anything.
He says thank you. He's feeling much better. The doctors did really well, and he's staying with some family.
Oh, I'll send my best wishes, and can I send some of the food that Babika gave me, like with a courier, to them?
There's absolutely like an app for that.
Sick. Okay, I do that, and like write a really nice card and be like, "You're amazing. You're an American hero / Black Rock Station hero."
Like handwritten card.
Yeah, like super nice, and I like send it to them, and I'm like, "Let me know if you need anything," and I give him like my contact card thing, like the other guy did, and send that off with the courier.
Cool.
Cool.
You guys are going to meet this Agent 7 at a sort of small but, frequented, like it's kind of busy. It's moderately busy there. Sort of bar.
Okay.
Similar to the one on Black Rock Station in that it is divey and stuff.
Can I get 60 feet away and still be in line of sight?
You'd probably sit at the bar if we're in a booth.
You could be in the building and have line of sight. You could not have line of sight on him from outside the building.
Okay, so how far? What's the max distance I can get while being inside the building?
35 feet, 40 feet away, sort of sitting at the end of the bar,
Okay, I'll go there.
opposite corner of him.
I'll go there and then I'll blend. Can I stealth to blend?
Absolutely. You can give me a stealth check or other check that you would think would make sense.
This is a
All right.
better roll.
You're at the bar. You're ordering drinks. You're hanging out.
Newspaper.
Totally. iPad.
Yeah, you're just holding an iPad in front of you.
But like the disposable iPad that every sci-fi author thinks we all are going to have in the future.
Yeah.
That you have 2 emails on, and then you discard. For the player character to find later. You're just hanging out. And he's got like a cup of something. Like it looks sort of, he has a larger pitcher and then a small cup. It seems to be some kind of alcohol sitting on the table. And he says, Pippin?
It's just Pip. It's fine.
Pip.
I don't
Offers you a seat, offers you a glass.
sit down, and asshole just hovers down so he's not in anyone's way.
And he said, he leans in, and he's about to say something when all hell breaks loose.
Uh-oh.
Percy, can I get a perception check from you?
Yes, you can. Boom.
You're being a great lookout. And just a moment before before it happens, you see someone outside the window kind of across from this booth. The booth you're at is kind of situated to have no good line of sight from any windows, but also good view of the door. Like, he's picked this spot very well. But it would seem not to defend against someone throwing a grenade of some kind through the window at your table.
Right.
He barely has time to say anything before it goes off. There's this loud, concussive blast, shrapnel being launched out of this little makeshift bomb that is thrown there. Pip, reflex save for me.
All right.
Wow.
It's +5. That's not too great.
It's not too great. But it would seem that the blast was not meant for you.
Okay.
Or at least you got lucky and it landed next to him more than it landed next to you.
All right.
He is taking sort of the full blast, and you are getting shrapnel. So you're going to take. Only 3 points of piercing damage as these sort of shrapnel bits and bits of the table hit you. But you look over at him and he is way worse off.
Ooh, shit.
Can I pursue the grenade thrower?
You don't have to, because as soon as that happens, other people kick the door in, and I need everybody to roll initiative.
All right. You want to pull up the tracker or no? I guess we don't have tokens, so it doesn't matter.
Do you want me to roll? I don't know if it's possible if I heard the explosion from where I am. Like, I don't know how loud it is relative.
We're pretty far from the ship.
Roll initiative anyway.
Why do I have
Finola?
0.04?
It adds your initiative modifier as a decimal, so that if you tie, it automatically breaks ties by your initiative modifier.
Cool.
So if my initiative modifier was 0.2 or was 2, and I rolled
So Percy is 6. Pip, what did you get? 10.
10.
And Minala?
3. Low rollers. Opposite of high rollers.
Excellent. So first up is Agent 7, who you see has been knocked clean out of his chair, is on the ground, and clutching his neck as this blue fluid is pouring out of it.
Oh boy.
I think he's also got some other pretty nasty wounds other places on his body. Into the room swarm from the front door 3 armed, sort of, they look like gang members, who kind of fire a few rounds into the ceiling. They've all got sort of bandana masks on.
Mm-hmm.
Fire a few rounds into the ceiling, and everyone, gets on the ground, is diving out of windows, is fleeing and panicking, and then through the broken window where the grenade was thrown are 3 more sort of aggressive-looking people, dressed differently. Where the other people have sort of the bandana masks, and sort of piecemeal clothing. These people are all wearing what look like heavy-duty work garb that seems to have been slightly repurposed into armor, and instead of masks, they're wearing respirators and heavy goggles. Looks like welding gear and work gear and stuff.
And are these
clearly,
folks clearly together or clearly separate, or?
You would have said they were together until they started shooting at each other.
Okay, they're shooting at each other now.
Yeah,
right.
Over you.
Got it. Sorry, but these folks are both outside?
No, so everybody's inside the bar now.
Got it.
And the bar is about 45, 50 feet across.
Before this, all of them were outside, and now they're all inside?
Yeah, the people with the bandanas burst in the front door.
Gotcha.
On their turn. The people with the welding masks and respirators jumped in through the window on their turn.
Got it.
And seemed kind of shocked at the presence of the other people and started shooting at them. And now they're shooting at each other.
Scene set.
But it did seem like the people with the welding masks and stuff, you and Agent 7 were their target.
Got it.
But now they're distracted by this other group. Pip, it's your turn.
Well, shit. All right. First things first, I'm going to just comms. Manala, you need to get here right now. We've got, bogeys. Da, 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 da. I'm shouting into the thing. More information than Manala can consume reasonably, as I'm going to, jump over the table and knock it over, to get some cover.
Yep.
And I'm going to try, to medicine check this guy. He's bleeding
Go for it.
out in his neck.
You're applying pressure to this wound, but he's got a ton of wounds. He's in terrible shape. He needs medical attention immediately.
Okay.
Or he's gonna die.
Can you try to stabilize him? Or no?
That's what I'm trying to do.
You think it's gonna take you can apply first aid to him, but you don't know if that may just buy him a little bit of time.
Right.
Oh. Damn.
And so as this is happening, sort of lasers are flying over you and pushing holes in your cover.
Yeah. And at the end of the turn, Asshole's gonna float up and just fire laser pistol at one of these guys.
It has a laser pistol now.
Yeah, I mean, yes.
Oh, did you give it one of the ones you had
It,
gotten
it,
from?
yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. It comes with one, but like
Oh, okay. Cool. So
I never did the numbers.
A-hole is going to fire a laser pistol at one of the thugs, one of the intruders.
Yeah.
Which one? Bandana or welding mask?
Bandana, because they're the ones who threw the grenade.
The welding mask one's through the grenade.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, then
The
a
welding mask one's through the grenade, went through the window. Bandana's burst in the front door.
then welding masks, because they threw the grenade.
Cool.
I'm missing some numbers because my thing is broken, but
And is this against their EAC?
yes.
It's better.
What number was it?
That was a 15.
15. I believe that hits these guys.
Great.
It may change the next time you shoot at them.
Sounds good. My bonus may change the next time I shoot because I'm missing some numbers. Does anyone have the laser pistol numbers handy?
I believe it's a D4.
I only have an arc pistol.
It's
Here.
D6.
It's a D4.
It's a D4.
Oh wait, no, I have this page up over here.
4 damage.
And then that's wait, you didn't get a critical. Never mind.
Yeah, no, that definitely hits. Where's your freaking? There it is. Okay. Cool. So you fire and do how much damage?
4.
4.
4 damage to one of them.
Hey,
Excellent.
that's damage. Maybe.
Doing math very quickly.
Math is the best, but also the
Yeah, that should have been a +5, not a +2.
Cool.
I'll remember that for the next time.
Awesome. You hit one, and you seem to burn a little hole in this sort of welding jacket that he's wearing, and you hear him grunt, and then look up at Asshole and sort of raise his laser pistol at it, as if to fire. Percy, you have
So I was-
watched all of this happen from the bar.
Right, I was at the bar, so I would like to hop over the bar.
Mhm.
And then while I'm back there, search for a medical kit or spray flesh or anything that's medicine related. I assume the bar.
I'll take a perception check to search for a first aid kit back here under the bar.
Oh, yes.
You do not find a first aid kit.
Do I find anything that I can use for medical supplies?
I mean, whiskey. However,
Skin some rags.
you do find the bartender is sort of clutching his shoulder with sort of a relatively minor wound, but one that has incapacitated that arm temporarily. And next to him is a large shotgun.
Oh.
He seemed to have picked it up to defend his bar, but then been hit in the crossfire.
I would like to point at him, point at the shotgun, and say, mind if I,
Nods.
okay, pick up the shotgun.
Not
He's
this.
like, don't
Dramatic.
shoot any customers.
Have a pint at the Winchester. Start blasting the nearest ones.
Excellent. I will let you do that as soon as I find your stats for this gun, which I have misplaced again.
And I'll roll it.
You're nailing the perception, Percy.
That'll be.
Yeah, I was gonna say you weren't gonna find anything, but then you rolled really well, and I'm like, okay.
I mean, yeah, nat 20 plus 8. I mean, yeah, it's amazing.
And what did you get?
That's my to hit, 23.
22. That totally hits one of these guys.
How much damage?
Damn right.
What's the name rep? Check that damn rep.
Where is it? This stupid page reloaded. I apologize.
Let's just call it a D12.
Just call it a D30.
No big deal. You can always roll a 1.
You fire this thing, There it is. And sort of it seems to have an actual cartridge in there, and it's this big cloud of metal pellets, and it does a D8.
Nice.
Dang. Legit.
Damage. To whoever was closest to me and a bad guy.
So you don't care if it's bandana or the welding mask?
They both busted in here looking for trouble.
Yeah, no, totally.
It's a bar fight.
I'm just making sure.
Shit's going down.
Shit is going down.
Might crack a bottle over the bartender's head just for fun.
Oh my god, don't do it now.
And you fire at one of the bandana people?
If they're closest to me, yeah.
They are closest to you.
Not Jerry, no!
And it's a blast, so you're just sort of filling this area with this, and so you're able to hit 2 of them. And after you is Mainala.
Cool.
You
So
receive this message.
yeah, I get this frantic message from Pip, and I'm listening to it, and I just I just sigh. I was in here arranging my shit with my plant, and I was
Sigh is a full round action.
yeah, no, I want to sigh as one action, and then use the rest of my turn to dash as fast as I possibly can over there. But I'm just
Sigh the whole time that you're dashing.
yeah, that's ideal. And I'm just I'm so disappointed. I was I told him to go to this.
So you start heading your way down there, and you'll be there in a
Yeah,
bit.
and I'm obviously, because I know what's up, I'm gonna bring, or know that something is up. I'm gonna bring my arc pistol and my knife, which I did not have on me before.
Cool. You're running. Back to the top. Agent 7 is clutching his neck, and he seems to kind of start to go limp.
No.
He's fading fast.
Dude, wait, do we like this character? Just kidding.
Pip.
Mm-hmm.
One of the people is going to sort of move up and try to move the table out of the way.
Okay.
So that another one can take a quick shot at you. And sort of they push it out. One pushes the table out of the way that was your cover, and then the other one sort of points this gun at you and fires. A 14 hit your EAC.
Yes.
Then you are going to take... he sort of points this laser pistol and fires. And it strikes you in the side.
Are these mask guys or goggles guys?
Bandana or
And it does. These are the mechanic guys, the respirator
Welding.
guys.
Cool.
Welding guys. And you take 2 points of burning damage, fire damage.
okay.
It's not as bad as it could have been. You kind of deflect the shot, but you're a little exposed now. And the third one is going to shoot back at the other group. And, miss. So, just trading shots at each other. The people in the bandanas are starting to take cover, and then one of them sees Percy and is going to turn around and try to stab Percy.
Ouch.
21 hit your kinetic armor class.
Oh yeah.
Hey, dude.
Ooh, 6 points of damage as they sort of get up, sort of grab you over the bar after you fired with that shotgun and just
Fair.
stab
I
you.
did blast 2 of his friends.
And that is their turn. It is Pip's turn. You're not in melee range with these guys, so you could get away without provoking any funky attacks of opportunity.
Yeah, but I don't think I could get Agent 7 out with me.
I
Unlikely.
think he died.
He's not dead yet, is he?
Went limp.
Hard to tell.
Okay, I'm gonna do something a little weird.
Fast, maybe.
I'm
He's
gonna
definitely not conscious.
swing my rifle around and just pull the trigger in a direction so that it fires and the barrel gets hot.
Mhm.
And then I'm going to press the barrel against his neck to try and cauterize the wound. Because that's all I
Okay.
got.
Damn.
This is, military first aid, right? Like,
So just
Take
to
the
remind you,
gunpowder.
you've got the 3 people in front of you, One of them just shot you,
Hmm.
and there's nothing between you and him at the moment.
Yeah. But
Um,
I don't want to waste my action aiming my gun and trying to fire. I'm just gonna use the action to.
cool. Uh,
That's
you
my
do
action,
have-
and then with my movement, if anything, like if I can like start dragging him away with me, maybe at half speed or something.
yeah, you can move at half speed. You can start to get behind um, another booth farther away,
Okay, cool.
and it is at that point that you take that glancing shot in the side. It's all happening kind of simultaneously. Percy,
What's the range on that shotgun? Can I get the three, or can I aim towards the three dudes that are on Pip right now?
I'd say they're too far away for you to accurately hit them. The dude currently has a knife in you.
Oh, it's like it's in me. All right.
We stabbed you with it.
Did
He
Yeah,
really stabbed
alright,
you.
I'm worried about Pip. Okay. I mean, it's kind of asking for this. I'm gonna shotgun him in the face.
Do it.
Normally, I wouldn't do this. It's not
Maybe
my
I'm not
usual
gonna shotgun
protocol.
him in the face.
You go to try to just put it under his chin, and he's able to push it out of the way, and it fires right next to his ears, and you can see some blood comes out of his left ear.
Well, I damaged his hearing for life. That's good. That's
Definitely damaged his hearing for the rest of his, I would assume, short life. And he sort of
Sorry,
Yeah?
asshole gets to shoot at the end of my turn.
he does
At the one nearest me.
do it.
Suppressive fire.
Wait, this shot can have canonically happened after your shotgun blast.
Yeah.
What did I say? +5 last time?
Mm-hmm.
Ah!
Does not hit. Just it's trying to move evasively so it can't get shot and still fire back, and it's challenging.
Yeah.
And Mainala, you are approaching this bar. You see people fleeing in the opposite direction, and you can see down the street, gunfire happening inside of this bar they said they were going to be at.
Do I know like who the I mean, I guess it would be the stewards, the controlling force on the station.
Mhm. That is the police you could call.
Right. I send off a quick message to them. I say,
No.
massive gunfire, this bar, and that's it. I don't have like any of my regular signs. I send that as quick as I can, and I just keep pelting towards that. So yeah.
Excellent.
Pip is considering just letting himself die rather than being questioned by the stewards.
He doesn't know that. So.
You get there. So sorry, your turn is over.
Yeah.
The welders, they seem like they're about to go to do more horrible things to Agent 7, but he appears to be pretty dead as you're dragging him away, and they have more pressing issues with being shot at. They are all going to return fire against the other people, and one of those other guys is going to die. Struck a few times with lasers, and he sort of falls to the ground,
Oh,
slumps over a chair.
so drama.
Not the guy that was knifing me.
Not the guy who was knifing you. The guy who was knifing you is going to try to wrestle the shotgun out of your hands.
Oh man.
So go ahead and
Probably
make
gonna
a,
win. Unless I can apply an acrobatics roll to this.
How does CMD work in this game again?
I looked this up last time.
Yeah, it's a combat maneuver, like grappling, anything like.
Or is it like just strength now or something?
I looked it up last time.
You don't have to look it up again. Let's just do contested strength checks.
This will go well.
Gonna be great. Can always
He
roll.
actually rolled much worse than you.
Melee attack against KAC +8.
And it's not really grappling, though.
Okay.
They're just fighting over this gun.
Yeah, no, this
Great.
makes sense.
He starts to go for it, and as soon as his hand is off that knife, you kind of pull it out of your... Would you pull it out, or would you leave it?
I would leave it.
Well, then as soon as his hand is off that knife, and he has both going there, you just kind of palm him in the face. right in the nose, like you've seen in so many self-defense holovids.
It's true.
And it sort of stuns him long enough that you can sort of shake him off the gun.
Cool.
And it's your turn. Pip. It appears that Agent 7, who you are dragging, is unconscious, if not dead.
I'm gonna keep dragging him backward while I attempt a medicine check to stabilize him.
Cool.
Woo, magic.
Say, don't you die on me.
That's pretty good. You think you've stopped the bleeding in this wound, and you've stopped some bleeding some other places. He might have internal bleeding, but you have done everything that can be done.
Okay,
You
and
know,
I'm dragging him towards the back door. Like,
you went full combat medic, and you have him patched up as well as he's going to be patched up. And you are starting to drag him towards the back door. Cool.
just so you know, the DC to stabilize a dying creature is 15.
Cool. So you are cracking him away. He seems stable for now. And that's your turn. So then it's up for Percy.
No, asshole gets to shoot.
Oh, asshole gets shoot. Yeah.
Asshole will shoot at whatever guy happens to be closest.
One of the welder guys.
Yeah. +5. 21.
21 that totally hits.
For 1 damage.
That guy was already pretty hurt, and he's very hurt now. And he looks like he's ready to cut and run.
Okay.
Mainala, you can now, this turn, if you choose, enter the bar.
I would like to do so, but very cautiously with my arc pistol at the ready.
Cool. How would you like to enter? There is a broken window and an open front door. There is also a back door,
Oh.
which is
I
pretty
would
far
take-
from the action.
I would take the back door so I can have more time to assess the situation before getting shot at.
Cool. This back door is going to spit you out behind the bar.
Do I see Pip there?
No, you don't see Pip because Pip's kind of around the corner. There's like a little door you can see.
Okay,
that's gonna
cool,
spit you
great.
out.
No, it's cool. I realized he was also heading there after I said
You
that.
can see all the action in the other room.
Okay. Do I have time to? I mean, like I see that there's these two groups, some in bandanas, some in welder masks. Am I able to get even that out of it?
Yeah, you can
Look
see
at
that.
they're shooting at each other.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just scanning for Pip and Percy.
If you were to go out into the main room, you would see them both immediately.
Okay, great. I'll do that, and then that can be my turn if you.
Would you like to do anything else? You still
I
have an action.
Oh, okay. I mean, like, yeah, if I see them,
You have just moved into the
I
area.
mean, Percy's right, like,
He's to your right. Percy's to your right. Pip is behind some stuff in front of you.
okay, and Percy is pretty close contact with the guy who's just attacking him,
I
right?
have a knife in me.
Yeah, so
Percy
I'm
just
gonna
kind of
shoot
knocks
that
him
guy.
away.
I'll shoot that guy for sure.
Cool, shoot him.
For sure. And
Hey,
That's
that's
a
a
crit.
crit.
oh, and I add something to that. 1, I think. I don't know.
What's your crit effect on your gun?
I don't know. It's an arc pistol.
I'll look it up
Oh, special thing?
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, special or arc? Sorry, special or critical? Critical just says critical says do 2. Special says stun. Oh, like it can be set to stun.
Yeah. Special is
Oh.
just like it is a stun
Oh
weapon.
well, I definitely have it on stun.
Its critical is arc
There's
2,
little
though.
blades
Yeah.
Around,
You
so.
could do-
You roll the damage, and this is going to arc to a second person.
Oh, I rolled really bad, but
So that is enough to drop him. He kind of goes, just falls back,
alright.
Thanks.
and sort of the arc zaps from him. He sort of bumped this other guy that conducts, and that guy takes a pretty nasty shock as well.
And it's arc 2, so it does 2 damage when it arcs.
Oh yeah, sorry. It does say arc 2, but I didn't know what the hell that meant.
Yeah, it's the amount of damage that the arc does.
Oh.
Back to the top.
I think did I go?
Oh, you did not go. Sorry,
I think I'm between Pip and Manila, right?
I think you are too.
I missed you, Percy. I apologize.
It's cool. Well, this guy's dead now.
Just shuffling the order around as we feel like it.
Yeah, it's fine.
Keeping it
Thanks.
dynamic.
I would like to. Okay, is there anyone between me and Pip?
One dude in a bandana.
Okay, where are the nearest welder guys to Pip from me? Like, are they?
So if you're, from where you're standing, it's welder guy in front of you, sort of towards the other end of the restaurant, Pip behind some stuff, and then to your left, relative to Pip, is the other guys. Is the welder guys.
So you mean one bandana guy is next to me?
One bandana guys in front of you,
Okay.
not focused on you.
All right. I want to try and run up and get within range to use my shotgun on one of the welder guys.
Totally can do it.
Great.
You sort of vault over this thing and you spin the little dude with this gun that's too big for him, runs up. Ah!
Great. Or cry.
Nice.
That totally hits.
Ooh.
That is
Blast
a ton. You kill one. One of them is blasted away and falls back and is bleeding out on the ground. And the others are now sufficiently injured, they decide this is no longer worth it. And they look like they're turning to flee.
That one guy is stunned on the ground.
Mm-hmm. It is now their turn. They vault back out the window, shouting something to each other, and they are running off as these steward trucks are showing up.
Does Percy get an opportunity attack?
No.
Cool.
As these steward trucks are showing up, they it seems like some speed off to go chase those two guys, and they come in and secure everything, and then some EMTs take Agent 7 and are looking at the rest of you, and the one stunned guy is taken into custody.
Cool.
I would like to keep this knife, please. It's better than my knife.
In you, so
Uh,
by salvage rules, it's your knife now.
the EMT is bandaging it up and working on taking it out, and the steward has said it should be submitted for evidence, but it's clear this is their beat, and they don't care.
It's mine.
You may keep it if you like. You are all, questioned, but not very much.
Just at the scene, so.
At the scene, it is very clear that you were all just bystanders, defending yourselves. They know, Pip, that you were there to meet with this person, but, it was a perfectly legitimate thing.
Agent 7's good. He's...
You don't know. He was sped away in in an ambulance.
Okay.
But he is now receiving medical care.
All right.
I try to do my best to listen to whatever testimony Pip and Percy give about the two groups that came in and what happened with the grenade, and I try to get all the facts from what they tell the
Cool.
detectives or whoever's there, police.
The detectives are asking questions, and you're able to gather. They explain what happened, and from the detectives, you're able to gather that there were these two gangs are two sort of smallish gangs, sort of the little gangs. They're the more powerful ones.
Are they known already?
Yeah, they're known.
Okay, so that was my question. Is this new? And
the guys with the bandanas are known as the Vac Rats.
Vac rats, like a vacuum.
Yeah.
All right.
Mm-hmm. And the other ones?
The other ones are called the Three Spire Kings.
Ooh, okay.
If you would like to do culture checks to know anything you want to know about these groups, you may.
No, yes. I am writing it down. I'm putting a box around it. Okay. Culture. I think I'm getting this 4 of these. Alright, well, I don't really know much, but it's cool. I'm not into gangs, so that makes sense.
What did you get?
I rolled a 7. Percy got 20.
Percy got 20. To know about who?
I don't know anything about gangs. It's not a thing.
Well, you said both of them. I don't know. Mask guys, I guess. No, welders guys.
Three
The welder
Spire
guys.
Three Spire
They are a brutal street gang that controls, several decks of the station's lower levels. They're mostly through a combination of intimidation and violence. They're mostly former workers, so they know the passageways and stuff inside the walls. They mostly deal in drugs, arms trafficking, kidnapping, and murder for hire, and sometimes trafficking and
I was curious
sentencing.
if they did contracts.
They totally do contracts. Um, turnover among their ranks is very, very high. Um, but you've heard of their leader. She's a human. Her name is Farani Nadaz. And she is known for being particularly brutal.
All right.
Did you guys want to know about the other gang as well?
Sure, I can roll it.
The Vakrats, they're a gang. They mostly deal with theft, burglary, fencing stolen goods, gambling,
That was a D10, Lily.
prostitution, racketeering, smuggling. A lot less violent crime,
You know it, so I'm not worried about it.
but still lots of crime.
Do we know their leader or no?
Do you know their leader? I have a thing I wrote.
Take me to your leader.
You do. A Yosoki named Jabaxa. Interestingly, they kind of have a reputation as being sort of outlaw heroes. They have been known to work for groups who are like if you have a bunch of union miners who need protection, they're not a bad group of people to call.
Yeah, I feel like 3% bad about shooting him.
A whole 3%, eh?
And that
They
is what you
busted
know.
in with guns.
All right. Well, if that's all, they give our statements, and then I'm gonna head back to the ship. Heal
Yep,
up.
they don't hold you at all. This seems like something this guy deals with like 3 times today.
I would like to chew Pip out on the way back to the ship for being such an idiot. Just be like,
Yes, it's my fault that a grenade came in through the window.
let's try to go to this meeting. I don't even know why you're giving their information. Like,
They were gonna pay us to make an insurance claim. It's easy
no,
credits.
they're gonna pay you. Where are my 100 credits?
They didn't pay me because a grenade came in through the window.
As you two are yes, Percy?
I want to return the shotgun to the barkeeper.
He is very grateful.
I hope
He's
it's
being
not
patched up by an EMT, and he's like, "Thank you so much. What's your name?"
Jack the Jack
Percy.
Jacker Jacks.
Not in this lifetime.
What name do you give him?
I'll give him Percy.
He's like, "Thank you so much, Percy. You got free drinks here anytime you want."
Awesome.
That's cool, man. That's cool.
And this bar is called the Busted Airlock.
Great name.
Cool.
Cool. So, you all head back. Manala, you and Pip are arguing as you head back to your ship.
Yeah.
And I think that is where we're going to leave it tonight.
Great.
But not quite before. The detective, before he lets you go, he pulls, let's say, Percy aside and says, "You guys look new here. This looks like a hit.
Yeah.
Y'all should be careful. Somebody's upset about you being here. All right?"
Okay.
He says, "I don't know if it was for you or the android, but be on your toes."
No, I definitely am. I was just getting a drink, and then, guns. So, I'll
All
be
right.
wary now. Every time
You're
I try to relax, I'll just have a panic attack. It'll be great. Thanks.
Cool. So as you are heading back to your ship, arguing over where those 100 credits are going to come from, I think that is where this episode is going to conclude.
Cool. Sounds
All
good.
right.
Come back next week for more adventures in space. Goodbye.
Bye bye.
Spacebar fights.